Pick five, win five. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between. Welcome back to my daily betting show where it is my job to give you my 5 favorite plays in the sports betting world. You are tuning in at the perfect time. I will tell you right now, because we are on an absolute heater. Over the last 4 days, we have not had a losing day, and we are 14-6. I repeat, 14 wins, 6 losses. About half of those hits have been for plus money. Coming off of a day where we went 3-2, 2 of those 3 wins were also for plus money. So yes, we are stockpiling that green, that cheddar, and we are loading up the accounts. And I tell you what, it feels good. It feels really good because we got off to a slow start on the show, but we knew the methodology was solid. We knew everything was in place. We were just getting a little bit unlucky. Now things are going the way they should be going, and that goes across the board because a lot of you has also been subscribing to the channel, showing loves on the video, and from the bottom of my heart, I sincerely appreciate it. And guys, before we do jump into Monday's picks, I do have to tell you right now, if you are not subscribed to the channel, you're not only hurting me because I see all of you, I see most of you still aren't subscribed, but you're hurting yourself. If you were here over the last 4 days, you would have made a crap ton of money and a bunch of other words that I can't say because YouTube would demonetize me. So yes, do yourself the favor, subscribe to the channel. You don't want to have to search MLB betting picks or the Sitch with Grant Mitchell. It's too many letters, too many words to put in the search bar. Just press one little button. If you can't hit one button, what are you doing with your life? And every morning when you wake up, you're going to find my 5 best picks for the day in your sub box. Sound good to you? It sounds good to me. And what else sounds good to me is the Baltimore Orioles money line against the New York Yankees in New York. We have Tyler Wells going for the Orioles, 6-4 with a 3.21 ERA, going against Domingo Germán, who is 5-5 with a 4.54 ERA. That ERA was helped significantly by the perfect game that he just threw against the Athletics. And I'll tell you right now, I love fading teams that have come off of massive performances, teams and players. That doesn't apply to dominant teams like what we have seen with the Braves recently. We're going to talk about them soon. Or in the NFL, the Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. No, I'm talking about players and teams that play significantly above their level. Think about when the Angels beat the Rockies 25-1, and then they lost the very next day. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what I think we're going to get with Domingo Germán. Not only is he coming off of that incredible game, but that game was also in honor of his fallen uncle who died a couple of days. I believe it was 2 days before that game. So he's going to have the emotional hangover of just the loss of a family member and the emotional hangover of coming off of the best game of his career, and he will never do that ever again. I don't think Domingo Germán is going to throw another perfect game in his professional career. So that's the start of the pick. Also, the Orioles are 4-2 against the spread when they play the Yankees so far this season, and they're 49-33 against the spread overall. That is the 4th best in Major League Baseball. This Yankees team has not been the same since Aaron Judge went out of the lineup with the torn toe ligaments. Might not even be back this season. Hopefully he is. Looks like he could target a return to the end of the season, but I tell you what, he won't be there on Monday, and without him in the lineup, the Yankees look like crap. Now, the Orioles haven't been as powerful on offense as they have been recently, but I don't care. I think they're going to be able to get to the Yankees. Yankee Stadium is not the fortress that it has been over the course of the franchise's history. Orioles, first pick of the day, money line on the road. Lock that one up. Pick number 2. I told you we were going to talk about them later on, and well, it's a little bit later. We've arrived at the Atlanta Braves -1.5 at the Cleveland Guardians. Now, right off the bat, the fact it is at the Guardians, we are getting 9 innings of guaranteed offense from the Braves. And the Braves right now playing better offense than anyone in the league, playing better offense than anyone in the league has the entire season. In their last series, 3 games against the Miami Marlins, they set a franchise record for home runs in a 3-game series. And that was a Marlins team that was playing very, very good baseball going into that series. And they made them look like a bunch of JV kids and farm leaguers. It was not even close. On the mound in this game, we've got Bryce Elder going for the Braves, 6-1 with a 2.44 ERA. He's been absolutely shoving this year. On the other side, Gavin Williams is going for the Guardians. He's 0-0 with a 2.84 ERA. If you're asking yourself, who is Gavin Williams? Well, he's a 23-year-old rookie, and he's got some interesting stat breakdowns. He has 2 career starts so far, one versus the Athletics, one versus the Royals, the two worst teams in baseball. And he gave up 4 earned runs in one, and he gave up 0 in the other. So for a guy to be tossed out there for his 3rd major league appearance, going from the Athletics and the Royals to the Braves, considering how well the Braves are playing, hitting over 300 as a team over that same last month, leading the league in scoring, home runs, batting average, slugging percentage, on-base percentage. I talk about a baptism of fire. This is just totally unreal and almost unfair to the kid. This is going to get ugly. I'll tell you right now. The Guardians do have some momentum because they picked up a big win in extra innings yesterday. Granted, they did make us money, so we're happy with them, but it never should have gotten to that point. Josh Naylor had a couple of weird bounces on the transition, which he kind of ended up single-handedly throwing the game, getting it 2 extras, but he did make up for it with the 2 RBI single in the 10th inning. So I guess credit to Josh Naylor. But here's the thing about that win. While that was a momentum win, it was a long day. There was a several-hour rain delay, and you go into extra innings. That team is going to be tired. And again, you just don't want to see the Braves in any shape or form right now. So the fact that you've had that extra energy expenditure, I don't think it's looking so good for the end. This Braves team, they've won 16 of their last 17 games. They have covered in 6 straight games, all of them wins. On the road, again, they get 9 innings of offense, and that's what you want out of them. This picks itself. Braves -1.5, and you can get it for plus money. That's the crazy part. At the time I'm recording this, it's just about +110, +115, depending on the sports book. I've already submitted that one. So yeah, that's pick number 2. Pick number 3, we're going with the Minnesota Twins, -1.5 versus the Kansas City Royals. The Twins have covered in 6 of their last 8 games, excluding the Braves series. Now, I know that might seem a little cherry pickish, but what are you going to do with the Braves? Again, they are so clearly the best team in baseball right now. It's not even close. And that's with the Tampa Bay Rays playing the level of baseball they have been over the course of the season. Not only are the Braves the best team in baseball, this is the best stretch of baseball that we've seen in a long time from them and from any team in the league. This is up there with the best peaks that we've seen in baseball over the most recent season. So yes, you can basically discount what the Braves did to the Twins, excuse me. On the mound, we've got Joe Ryan going against Austin Cox. Ryan had a 2.98 ERA again until the Braves ruined him, shot it up to about 3.5, I believe. But yeah, he's been a sub-3 ERA pitcher so far this season. Cox is another rookie we were just talking about in the last matchup. There's a rookie there too. Well, we've got another one in this one, and Cox also has some interesting splits. In games where he throws less than 3 innings, he has not given up a single run. He's got a 0.00 ERA. In games where he has thrown more than 3 innings, he's got an ERA of 5.07. Each of his last 2 outings were over 3 innings. It looks like they're starting to transition him to that greater workload. So what we've seen from him is you can't rely on him as much when he starts versus when he comes in relief. The Twins offense hasn't been there recently. I will say that, and that is a little bit scary given the run line bet, certainly scarier than the money line bet. But the simple fact is their offense hasn't been there, but the Royals hasn't been there because the Royals offense does not exist. The Twins have also still been finding ways to win. Like I said, if you take out that Braves series, they've covered in 6 of their last 8 games. The Royals also have the 3rd worst ERA overall in baseball. So regardless of Cox's performance, as soon as he comes out of that game, you can't trust the other guys that are going to be coming. Meanwhile, you can trust Joe Ryan, 2.98 ERA. Before I'm looking up right now because someone is setting off fireworks right now. Why are we shooting fireworks on the 2nd of July? You know what? I'm sorry about that. Let's get back on track here. Twins -1.5. That's our 3rd pick of the day. Pick number 4, we are going with the Pittsburgh Pirates run line +1.5 versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Pirates offense has been better over the last 7 to 10 days or so. I know they had a horrible, treacherous stretch before that. They were truly a must fade at that point, but they have been putting it together at the plate and just in the final score. They've been winning some games lately. The Dodgers have not named a starter at the time this video is being recorded. That most likely means they're going to the bullpen. And while you might think of Dodgers championship teams in years past of having the bullpen as a strength, not the case this season. They are 22nd in baseball in ERA coming out of the bullpen. I mean, we've seen even the untouchable Tony Gonsolin as far as ERA goes. His luck finally started to run out. Has there ever been a guy who's been able to limit runs as well as Gonsolin has, while also allowing batters to make contact with the ball. We're getting the regression to the mean there. Just not a great time to be betting on Dodgers pitchers for the most part. Obviously, we've got a couple exceptions. We know who I'm talking about, but overall, they haven't been as strong as in years past. On the opposite side, Mitch Keller going for the Pirates. He has been awesome this year. 9-3 with a 3.34 ERA, a 1.10 whip. That is elite level. Here's a really cool stat. The Pirates are 12-5 against the spread this season when Keller starts. Of course, he went on the road, led them to an underdog win over the Padres last week. Granted, the Padres have not been good, but still, the odds are the odds for a reason. Vegas was not built by winners. Vegas was built by a whole lot of losers. So the fact the odds makers set the Pirates as the favorite means it was the right thing to do, because again, the odds makers win in the end, except for on this channel, because we are on a heater, like I said. The Pirates also played the Dodgers earlier this year with Keller on the mound. They won that game 6-4. He gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings, struck out 10 batters en route to that win. We are going with the Pirates plus 1.5 for our 4th pick of the show. And of course, because that is pick number 4, it means we have arrived at the final pick of pick 5, win 5. It's in the name. And as I'm about to give it to you all, I will remind you, subscribe to the channel. We can't be stopped right now. The boys are back. The boys are winning money. And I want all of you to be a part of that journey through the ups, through the downs. Yes, it's nice to be on up right now. And we're just going to continue to push that thing as far as we can. So hit that subscribe button and let's get locked in for the final pick of the show. It's the Miami Marlins money line versus the St. Louis Cardinals. Like I mentioned earlier on, the Marlins were truly playing not quite outstanding, but very, very, very great, borderline, borderline amazing baseball. Now, we can't go that far. They were just playing very well. That's all you have to know. The Marlins were playing extremely well going into that Braves series. Things fell apart, but you can't blame them. Again, we're basically just going to discount any teams that play the Braves from here on out until the Braves come down to earth a little, because they look like the Monstars right now. That's what it looks like. The Marlins, they've got Braxton Garrett going for them. He's been good this season, 4-2 with a 3.53 ERA. Going against Miles Mikolas for the Cardinals, 4-5 with a 4.44 ERA. As far as the ERA goes, it's always a good indicator, but so too is the whip. Garrett has a 1.13 whip. Again, that is elite. Mikolas is at a 1.38. He's been giving opposing batters more chances to tee off against them. This also isn't a run line. Like I said, obviously it's the money line, which means that we're not putting the Marlins offense under as much pressure as you would be obviously in the case of a run line. And given the level that the Marlins were playing at going into that Atlanta series, do think this is a very solid bet here. The Marlins significantly outrank the Cardinals on offense as far as runs, batting average, slugging percentage over the last month and over the course of the entire season. And I do think they also have the advantage on the mound bullpen. I like their chances there as well. So we are going to go ahead, lock up the Miami Marlins with our 5th pick of the day. So let's do our recap as per usual. Pick number 1, Orioles money line at the Yankees. Pick number 2, Braves minus 1.5 at the Guardians. Next, we've got the Twins minus 1.5 versus the Royals. Next, we have the Pirates plus 1.5 versus the Dodgers. And our final pick, the Marlins money line versus the Cardinals. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. That is going to do it for today's show. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Hit the like button if you did enjoy the show. Comment, let me know which of these picks you're fading, which of them you're tailing. And until I see you all next time, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.